First up, of course, we have to talk about that terrific counter punch by India, both with the bat and the ball. Now, we are calling it India's double J counter punch because of the heroics with the bat of Jadeja and then Jayant Yadav. Of course, there was Ashwin before that as well. But what do you really attribute that to? Do you think the English dropped the ball, or was it just a great counter attack by India all across the board?
I think all across the board, I think India dominated. England had a very good chance when they won the toss, and they frittered away that advantage by losing their wickets, 4 wickets before lunch on day one itself. And I think that's where they started slipping. India never let lose its grip, despite the fact that there was a hiccup of sorts when they lost 3 wickets yesterday just after tea. But I think in Ravichandran Ashwin, they are one of the finest cricketing brains in the game. And what Ashwin did was he shepherded Ravi Jadeja. Jadeja can get a little bit excited. Jadeja likes to hit the ball up in the air. He's done that successfully in limited overs cricket, so he thinks that that's the way to go. But I think under Ashwin's guidance, he bided his time, showed exemplary patience, and made sure that India got not just over the England's total, but also a substantial lead. If you actually have a look at 7, 8 and 9 of the Indian batting lineup, they all got 50s, and they're all spinners. So they're not just looking at their role as spinners, they're looking at their role as all-rounders as well, and which is such a good thing, because this is exactly where India and India's bowlers have been thwarted in the past against Australia, against England, whoever. It's the last 5 wickets which have always thwarted India. So India is now giving it back to the opposition.
Right. I'm glad, Mr. Gavaskar, you made the point that someone like Ravindra Jadeja is a bit of an excitable personality. I have to ask you, did a few people in the commentary box perhaps pull a few of their hair out when Jadeja fell the way he did on 90? Because that was a bit of a rash shot.
Yes, but I think you were seeing signs of it in the previous over itself when he stepped down the pitch and had a slam at Chris Woakes, because immediately after the lunch interval, things didn't go well for him. He wasn't able to get the runs that he wanted. So suddenly he lost patience, and that is the problem. Once he gets into that mood of bang bang, he cannot come back to a proper cricketing mood, and that's what happened. Unfortunately for him, he didn't connect it, and so missed out on what would have been a very, very fine test century. He deserved the test century, right. But test centuries don't come easy. Yeah. You've got to work hard for it, and I guess, and I hope he'll learn from that, because his contribution at 7 or 8, whatever numbers he's going to be batting, is going to be very vital in the future as well.
Absolutely. It might not have gone down in the history books as a maiden test century for Ravindra Jadeja, but it will count as good as a century, I guess, in the context of the whole match, those 90 runs that he scored. Talking about Jadeja, now let's shift our focus, Mr. Gavaskar, to Ravichandran Ashwin. Now, here's someone who's again performed very well with both bat and ball. 72 with the bat, 3 very crucial wickets late on day 3 with the ball. It's great all-round show again by him, and he's really batting better than a lot of specialist batsmen in world cricket at the moment.
Well, I think he's making a case for opening the batting. He's making a case for maybe batting at 5, considering the indifferent form of Ajinkya Rahane. Ajinkya Rahane is a very, very good player, and everybody goes through such patches. So let's not make too big a deal out of it. Yeah. But yeah, I think the way Ravichandran Ashwin has been batting over the last 6-8 months, the 200s in the West Indies, again in a situation where India needed those runs. Then the way he's batted in the first 2 Test matches, India has got an all-rounder, a reliable all-rounder, and I think that's a huge plus.
Absolutely. Now that 134-run lead, Mr. Gavaskar, that India took, those were absolutely priceless runs. What did you make of the kind of pressure that Virat Kohli applied on the English when they came out to bat again late on day 3 for their second innings?
Well, to be perfectly honest, I think he could have applied a lot more pressure. By the time he started to apply the pressure, the England batsman had got away to some sort of a start. I still feel that there is no need for a deep point. There's no need really for a deep mid-wicket unless and until the batsman try and play that shot. It's always good to get the batsman into the mood to play the lofted shot. Once it gets in your system, you can't get out of it. And then in trying another shot, you could get out. So, the more you have fielders round the bat, see, look at the way Johnny Bairstow, everybody played back because he had fielders round the bat. He had fielders in front of their eyes. And when you have fielders in front of your eyes, you're always conscious of the fact that a bat pad edge could go to either side. And therefore, you play back to deliveries you should be playing forward. Johnny Bairstow, their best batsman so far in the series, he played back to a delivery that he should have played forward to. So I think more men in the closing position. He started to apply that pressure a little bit later, and it's worked. So we've got 4 wickets. So no complaints really.
Right, Mr. Gavaskar, he might be playing just his second test match, but Jayant pretty much looks like a pro, doesn't he?
Yes, I think he settled in very, very well. He looks as if he belongs there. And I think this is always the advantage players will have if they've spent some time in domestic cricket. He's been playing domestic cricket for 4 or 5 years. And he's 26, 27. So it's not as if he's just out of his teens and into the team, where it can be just a little bit difficult because you've got to start doing well at the domestic level to have the confidence and look, I'm ready to take the next step up. Right. And I think that's what's happened with Jayant Yadav. He's performed regularly, he's performed consistently with both bat and ball in domestic cricket, and that's why when he came into the Indian team, and he was kept in the reserves so he could just get a feel of the dressing room. So when he finally got his chance, and he was waiting for that chance, he has grabbed it with both hands. So well done to him.
All right, so England 4 wickets down. Jayant Yadav, of course, will have a big role to play on day 4 as well with the ball. Mr. Gavaskar, thank you so much, sir, for joining us. We'll, of course, come back to you again after day 4's play in Mohali. Thanks, sir, for joining us.